Welcome, everybody, to episode 100 of Late Night with Brian Wecht. Wow, we did it. We all did it. We're here. Today, we have a really fun episode for you. Two things before we start. We do have a video version of this episode with the one, the only, Mr. Matthew Watson. And that's available on our Patreon, patreon.com/Late Night. The other is I do want to give you just a little teensy little content warning for this episode. There's some talk of surgery and some talk of, let's just say, human excrement. So if that kind of stuff bothers you, maybe skip to it's about halfway through and you should be clear of most, but not all of it. This episode, and also, by the way, I promise, of course, it's all in impeccable taste, as is everything we do here. So anyway, just to throw that out there in case you are sensitive to these things before the episode starts. All right, everybody, thank you so much for being with us for 100 episodes. We're going to keep this thing going strong. We're having a great time, and we appreciate you for being here. Let's start the show. Yeah. See, that's professionalism.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. You're talking to a professional, so.
No, I know. I can tell because we're starting an hour late. That's the sign
Exactly.
of a true professional.
Fashionably late. Professionally late.
That's right. Well, if
That's
you're
what
too
they
on
say.
time, then you seem too desperate for whatever
Exactly.
you're doing.
It looks
Right.
like I'm begging, people to pay attention to me, and I need the views. So if I'm late, it
That's
shows more of I don't really care that much.
That's
I'm
right.
doing it
And that's
just
cool.
to be nice.
Yeah. That's what cool is. Cool is not caring what other people think.
And if you have a
Exactly.
job interview that's really important, show up fashionably late. It's a power move.
Yeah,
It is
'cause
a
you don't
big
need
power
that
move.
fucking job. Yeah.
They respect that. Executives at jobs really that too. You can go into if you burp during a job interview, it is kind of a power move as well.
Because
'cause it
everybody
shows
wants
them
to
man.
hire. They want to hire an influencer, right?
Yes.
And you need to act like an influencer in order to become an influencer. So
Yeah.
if you show up and you have the attitude of an influencer, they're going to be like, that guy, he's got it.
Yeah, and they might not even be able to describe what it is, but they know. They know exactly what it is a feeling more so than a set of descriptions. It's a feeling, and you feel it when it's there.
Yeah.
And what happens when they ask you the typical interview questions, like, what do you think is your greatest weakness? As a professional person, what do you say?
My greatest weakness is usually
I say it's
acing
how hard
every
I
job
can,
interview.
how hard I can punch you. And then I punch him really hard. And I say, and if that's my greatest weakness.
You don't want to see my strength.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah, no, that's genius. That's genius. Next
Yeah.
time I have a job interview, because I'm expecting SuperMega to the well's running dry, so I'll be back at Chick-fil-A in a matter of months. So,
Well, speaking of that, I was going to tell you, I got a picture from my wife of a certain billboard that she passed by the other day with Audrey.
no way,
And,
she saw it.
She saw it in the wild without expecting. She didn't travel there to see it specifically.
There's a
She
lot
just
of those
passed
pro-life billboards around. I'm glad that she finally saw one.
it. She was so excited.
Wait, what's the billboard?
It's the SuperMega Saves the Troops billboard.
Where?
There's 10 or 11 of them around LA.
What the fuck? Really?
Yeah, they're
This is
in
what
the
I get when
valley
I don't-
mainly. Hollywood in the valley,
Yeah,
because
that's where she was in the valley. Yeah.
they were really expensive around Christmas time, so we couldn't really get any over on the east side or South LA. It's mainly all just the valley and Hollywood because that's where the cheap billboards are. But billboards aren't that expensive. We didn't realize, so we're gonna start using those to our advantage quite a bit. And in South Carolina, we got one of the digital ones, the big 50-foot digital ones off the freeway.
Sweet.
So I went with my sister and her husband over the Christmas break, and we went and saw it. It was awesome.
That's
That
amazing.
rules. And
You're just
how-
joining the leagues of. You're from South Carolina, the south of the border million billboards that are speckled along the highways.
Yeah, you get a south of the border billboard, another south of the border billboard, pro-life billboard, then the SuperMega billboard. Actually, what's funny is on the digital billboard, it cycles through different ads. And the one that was right after ours that would play every time was this like anti-vaccine mask mandate ad. So it'd be like SuperMega saves the troops, smash cut to like this like Republican like anti like vax ad. I was like, perfect. That's great.
And it's like, okay,
That
I'll check
rules.
this out, and then I'll head on down to the one of 3 illegal firework outlets.
Yeah, and those firework outlets are a sight to behold, and they're very, very fun to go to.
Yeah. Have you ever actually been to the place south of the border?
I haven't been to
Not
south
just-
of the border. I've driven by it, but I've, as someone from South Carolina, I don't know a lot of people from South Carolina that actually have been there. I think it's more of a tourist thing, but it's
Well,
I've been.
I'll
I
tell
have
you
been.
now. Wait, you've been to south of the border?
Yeah, Leighton, I've traveled quite a bit in my day.
He's seen the world.
Yeah, the Route
true.
95 corridor is pretty central to my experience of traveling up and down the East Coast, of course. And so on one long trip down to, I believe, Atlanta one year, I was like, you know what? Got to do it. It's that you see fucking signs for it for whatever 200 miles, like you got to go see a shitty zoo.
Yeah.
Why not?
Their billboard game's on point.
It really
Yeah.
is.
It's a smash hit. You never
See,
saw
like,
such a
like,
place.
that place could just be there, and if there were no billboards, none of us would talk about it. But the fact that they have so many signs for like 200 miles is
Yeah.
why you talk about it.
And I'm
Hmm.
so curious what their billboard bill is like, because there've like hundreds of billboards up and down, and then you actually get to south of the border, and it's like, what happened
There's
here?
like a
This feels,
pig.
it feels like a Fallout game.
it does.
It must be worth it, right?
Well,
like they must bring in enough money.
How can
from
they make
those or
that much
wouldn't-
money?
No.
That's the question.
I've been
You know?
there many times. That's the place that I would always stop to get gas, just because like the novelty of it. When I would go from SCAD back home, and like they have a creepy little arcade,
I love a creepy arcade.
and there's
who
just
doesn't?
it's dead. There's nothing going on. So I'm curious, what's the moneymaker?
Do they still? So the last time I was there was probably more than 20 years ago. Do they still have the like weirdly racist caricatures of Mexican people on the billboards?
Dude, that's their bread
yeah,
and butter.
they do.
Yeah.
They do, yeah.
How? How do they still have that?
Because it's South Carolina.
Because that's
Okay,
all they have. That's their entire bit.
Yeah, no, it's South Carolina. When I went home for Christmas, I'm still surprised. I'm like, oh wow, that thing is still up, or this is still around. Because times are changing, and I expect a level of some things being changed. But in South Carolina, it never ceases to amaze me. Some of the things I see.
Is South Carolina like many other red states where the cities are pretty blue,
Yeah.
and then you get out of them and it's very, very Republican? Is that
I mean,
pretty
that's
much what
every
it is?
state, honestly. Like, even California, as blue as
that's right.
California is, it's like you drive 40 minutes outside of LA and you'll see, Trump flags and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's literally more so than like states being red or blue. It seems like it more so has to do with just like largely populated areas, and then outside
right.
of largely populated, like how many like very blue rural areas are there? Like in the middle of like Indiana, I doubt that there's like a super blue county that has like a very small population.
Yeah, I would bet some like East Coast states. I mean, you're right.
Yeah,
In
like
general, of
Vermont
course, you're
maybe,
gonna
or
get-
like-
Yeah, exactly. Vermont. I mean, Vermont has this weird thing. Like New Hampshire. If you've ever been to New Hampshire tends to go blue, but is also pretty conservative in parts. Whereas Vermont is generally more on the blue
Yeah.
side of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think a lot of like rural New York is pretty
Oh, yeah.
progressive.
I will
too.
see actually when the election happened and I was following it and I was looking at the maps, I was actually surprised that South Carolina has increased its number of blue counties by like a ton compared to when I was a kid. Because when I was a
Really?
kid, it would just be Charleston, I think, and then even the capital was red, if I remember correctly, and then the capital became blue. That where Ryan's from, so it was Charleston, and then what's Lexington County? I think is like where the capital is. Columbia, yeah.
Columbia,
So
right,
those
yeah.
would be blue, but now in the most recent election, there were like I think 7 or 8 blue counties in South Carolina, which was very surprising to me.
What
Yeah.
direction does Myrtle Beach lean?
Blue, I believe. That county starts with a C, I think. I could name every South Carolina county. It's one of my specialties.
After you look them up and read them. Yes. What's your? We were talking about Myrtle Beach recently, Matt. What's your take on Myrtle Beach? Are you a fan or like?
I have a soft spot in my heart for it. It's the Vegas of the South. It's like, it's somehow more trashy than Vegas.
Broadway at the beach, dude. That was my spot.
I've only been to Myrtle Beach maybe like 5-6 times in my life because I grew up about 2 hours from Myrtle Beach. And I loved it as a kid because there's so much like mini golf. There's
putt.
Unbelievable amount of putt there. Like every other building is putt. And then I remember seeing a lot of boot stores for some reason. But yeah, there's a lot of putt. And the beach it's like the closest thing in South Carolina you'll get to like a taste of it's almost like Jersey Shore, but in a small, more poor area.
I never went there to go to the beach. I went there for the putt.
I didn't either. I went to go do like the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yep. When you went, did they have the Magic Quest at Broadway at the beach? Because we went all the time.
With the thing with the wands?
Yeah. The wands.
They did.
What is this?
Oh my God!
It's like a gimmicky like attraction. There's a couple. I think there's a couple around the country,
do they
but
still
it's
exist?
It's like an interactive fun house where you get a magic wand, but the magic wand has some kind of like radio control in it. So when you use it on like a drawer, the drawer will like open up on its own.
Okay.
You know,
cool.
that type of fun stuff.
And real price gouge. Like basically it feels like the precursor to the Harry Potter world where it's like, oh, you want to come here? You want to pay $1 million for a wand and a butterbeer, and your kid totally wants an outfit too. But yeah, it was also fun because I think when I went maybe one time, just might have been like 2005, 2006. So it's just a bunch of children because it's timed when you go in. So you have like an hour maybe. And then it just like shit does not work.
Yeah,
like
I've never done it.
Like,
I just heard from friends. Actually, one thing I like to do is go search Myrtle Beach on Google and then just go to news. And then and then you just look at you know the new trending news of Myrtle Beach. And there's plenty of great things you can find about Myrtle Beach. Okay. Well, I can't even read that one. The first one I saw is.
Although I will say it says Horry County, but I thought it said Horny County.
I did too,
Whoa.
but I'm assuming you're reading the same headline I'm reading.
Yeah.
Yes, and we're not going to be discussing it.
Yeah. But Horry County is where Myrtle Beach is. Great
Man
name.
arrested for impersonating police officer at middle school.
Chick-fil-A announces new
Why at a
Myrtle
middle
Beach
school?
restaurant.
Yeah.
Arkansas-based restaurant chain to add 9 sites in Charleston, Myrtle Beach, and Florence.
This is the most southern thing ever. Light snow expected in upstate Columbia and Myrtle Beach areas under winter storm alerts.
That means that they'll close down for 6 days.
For like a half inch of snow, right?
Mm-hmm. No, not even a half inch of snow.
Like
when I was a kid, they would close down school if it just got too cold. Like if it got
What's
below
too cold?
like 14, 15 degrees.
It gets that cold there? Really? Wow.
It can. But even if there's like a small chance of snow or like a flurry, they'll shut it all down. And I actually January 2018 was like the biggest snowstorm that we've had in ages since like the 80s. And there was like 6 inches of snow. It just came down the first week of January, and I got trapped.
Oh, you were out there. You were out
there.
Yeah,
it was awesome. I went on the beach and it was just like white.
That rules. Dude, snow on the beach is the best.
It's so cool looking.
Like all the time in New England, you know, it snows pretty regularly there. It's just my favorite thing because it's like, what the fuck is happening right now? It's so weird.
It's such a cool sight to see. Yeah, so much for your global warming, Brian.
Yeah, no, I know. I've totally reversed course on that. It's definitely a hoax.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm glad that
I
you're
have
on
too.
the right side of history now.
When I moved to California, they tried to make me believe it, and I did for a bit. And then I saw a little bit of snow in South Carolina, and I said, okay, I see.
Well, I started listening to this really cool kind of obscure podcast hosted by this guy, Joe Rogan. And he asks a lot of really interesting questions. And I think if you listen to it, it might just kind of tickle your mind a little bit.
Joe what?
Rogan.
Joe Rogan?
Oh, yeah, you should look him up. He's just starting out, but he asks a lot of really smart questions. And
Yeah, I haven't heard of this guy.
I feel like you've gotten smarter since you've started listening to him, Ryan.
that's right. No, and I didn't
he an
think that was
intellect?
possible, but it is.
An intellectual?
Yeah, he's a, like, look, obviously, as you know, I went to grad school and was in academics for a while, but what they don't teach you in grad school is like street smarts, It's not like it's all book learning and you're in the system.
Yeah.
And you get the paper of solidarity that awards you jumping onto their groupthink. Right? But then you have the real guys who are asking the real questions, like Joe Rogan. So I learned a lot, and I thought if Joe Rogan can ask questions, why can't I ask questions?
Yeah,
Brian, do you think we should start selling like late night supplements? Like, should we get on that grift?
That's a good idea.
you guys absolutely should get some like nootropics to sell. We've been SuperMega's been approached by several companies that are like, oh, you guys got to promote this nootropic. It makes your brain smarter, and like you think more. And then you look at like they make it look like this like crazy magic pill, and you look at it, and it's just like vitamin B12 and like a little bit of like caffeine. It's like, no, I don't want to sell pills to children unless it's like Xanax or Percocet.
NSP got a couple of those emails too, like the supplements. I was like, come on. I think
I remember Brent at one point when I worked for Game Grumps. Like we got like a sample shipment of these like brain pills, and Brent was like, "Yeah, I mean these are pretty good though. I mean, we could think about it." And I tried them, and I felt no different.
Yeah, what a shock.
Haven't you also like literally bought the Alex Jones supplements?
I have not bought it. I was mailed. It was mailed to us by some adoring fans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
And it tastes awful.
You know, I saw it on your desk.
Yeah.
Just asking questions.
Well, I didn't purchase that for myself.
Okay.
I had some concerned fans that were concerned about my testosterone levels, and they were kind enough to purchase that and send it. And Ryan and I have tried it on many occasions and many videos as well. It's disgusting. It makes your tongue kind of go numb, whatever's in it. And it just tastes. It's a gross syrup. It's a gross stinky syrup. And it's just, it's like a little dropper, and it's
oh wow,
not a syrup. I guess it's more of like an oil.
I thought they'd be pills
a
or something.
Yeah, a tincture. That's what it is. Because it's kind of like oily, but it's syrupy too. It's sticky, and it doesn't have a very good flavor. And damn though, when I take it, I do feel my muscles pulsating, and I get a horrible migraine. But that's part of the testosterone flowing. I get a migraine that lasts about 3 days.
No, that means it's working. If anyone radiates just cool, it's Alex Jones. That guy.
He radiates more than cool.
Yeah.
He's another one of those people that you're talking about, like your Joseph Rogan guy. You're talking about that. They have like. They know what they're talking about, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
The raw sexual energy of a man who just really knows what he's talking about, and preferably,
believe me, I'm familiar.
Lobster red, just a shade darker than lobster, even. That's
richer,
veins just popping.
Mellow. How many times has Alex Jones been married? Is it less than 10 or more than 10?
I'd say less than 10. But I think, my favorite thing regarding Alex Jones' marriage was when he went to court for like a child custody
Wait a minute.
thing.
Oh, hold on. Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Thing. No, finish your thing, and then
I was just gonna say he couldn't remember like basic details about his children during this custody hearing because he had eaten. He said that he had eaten a bowl of hot chili right before, and it was so spicy that he couldn't like remember these basic facts about his children because the bowl of chili.
Asshole. Here's the thing that made me say, "Oh my
hot
god!"
Chili.
Age-wise, how would you say Alex Jones and I differ in terms of age? Who is older and by how much?
You, but barely.
Wait, what was that, Layden?
You, but barely.
Well, the way you're framing this question makes me think that the answer has to be you are older. Alex,
well, no, I'm a master manipulator, so you fell for my trap.
How old is he?
He is 1 year older than I am.
Oh man,
But I would have thought he was like 10. I don't know, 10 years old.
Yeah,
That's what a lot of testosterone does to you. It makes you look.
Yeah.
I know you're a little bit jealous, Brian, of the man,
no,
but
no.
you know you don't have to bring up his age to try to embarrass him because he looks pretty good for how old are you? 55?
About I turn 55 next month. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I turn 26 next month.
Congratulations.
That's great. Can I come to your party?
I'm not having a party.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Matt, can I come
But-
to your party?
Yeah, if I had one. If I had one,
Right.
I'll text you like a joke, like an idea if I were to have a party, like what the idea would be like for the time and date and what the theme is. But it's just a joke that I'm gonna send you.
What
That's
would
funny.
be the
You're
funniest thing, like if I were to bring a snack to this party that's totally a joke?
Oh my god! If you wanted to if you really wanted to play it up for like a fake party, honestly, bring anything like cookies or like some treat like that. And maybe you know it could be a BYOB if I was really joking. And
Yes,
you could
that
bring
would be
like White
super funny.
Claws, or even if you brought some liquor. You know, we got plenty of mixers, and you know. People, I mean, we would have plenty of mixers hypothetically, and people could hypothetically drink that.
Will you hypothetically text me?
Yeah, I'll text you like right now as a joke, like if I were pretending to have
Awesome.
a party.
Wow, it's
Brian,
the fake text
yeah.
that I just received.
But Brian, no, I'm not having a party.
Okay.
I'd
cool.
let you know if I was.
get it. Yeah, it would be my first party.
Ever.
Someday, I hope to go to a party. Yeah, someday.
Well, they're not any fun anyway, so
No,
That is
they don't
true.
sound like it.
there's not a lot of
Matt-
fun things happening at parties.
Matt, the other day I was thinking about how wonderful it was for you, me, and Ryan to get Buffalo Wild Wings and watch Better Call Saul every week. What a treat that was.
It was, and we have to pick that back up when it comes back for the final season.
The final
Is-
season?
Is
Yeah,
this next one the
there's-
final one?
Yeah, the next one's the final one, and it's been
Oh, shit.
postponed forever because of COVID, and then also
Bob Odenkirk had his heart attack.
his little heart attack on set.
Right.
But I actually think he just shit his pants and he was embarrassed, so he came up with something. That's what I would do if I was like somewhere like on set and I shit my pants. I would be like, well, I have to fake something a lot more serious so it doesn't. I actually have a whole plan where if I ever shit my pants, I would just vomit all over myself. So then, the vomit would mask the smell of shit, and but then if people notice that, well, then I would actually be stuck with vomit and shit in my pants. So, but as long as people don't think I just shit my pants.
But you could have shit your pants in response to the vomiting, which I think would have been more of a natural reaction because you have a thing about vomit, right?
Like a fetish, yeah.
You love to eat it. It's delicious. Yeah, that's right.
It's got a very specific texture and flavor that I can't get enough of.
No,
But the
I
final
know.
season of Better Call Saul is, and apparently they're splitting it up into two like half
Of
seasons
course
like
they
they did
are.
with
Like
Breaking
they
Bad.
did with Breaking Bad, yeah.
Yeah, but I think Ryan told me the break is only going to be like a couple months, not a whole year.
Okay, so not too bad.
Yeah, I'm stoked though. I can't wait. It's supposed to come out early 2022 is the last that I saw.
Oh,
but-
really? You would think they
That's-
would have announced it by now.
I
if it
know,
was-
I know. I mean, I think they got to be done filming it by now because they started filming it in 2020.
Yeah.
So they got to hurry, man. Mike is he's getting old,
I was
and
just
it's kind of
thinking-
scaring me. It's like
Yeah,
he can
Jonathan
only
Banks he's got to be approaching 80, right?
he's creeping up there, and like it's getting more noticeable. Like the older he gets, and I'm like, guys, you got to finish this. You got to finish this fast because
Oh,
if he were
74.
if he were to croak,
74.
what would they do? Like, would they just?
Yeah.
Mike flew off to San Jose for
He had to
the
deal-
rest of the
yeah.
series.
Deal with some
Yeah.
Frank stuff.
Yeah.
I was going to say, the pants shitting thing reminds me of the best pants shitting story I've ever heard, which I'm going to try to recount to you now. So this did not happen to me. It happened
So it
to
happened to
Okay.
you.
a friend
Yeah.
of mine. Okay, so just to be
friend.
clear, and I'm going to see if I can tell this. Okay, so this guy, whose name let's call him Matt, and so Matt he has a hot date scheduled with a girl he likes, and before the date, he's not feeling so well, feeling like, he's got some tummy rumblies.
Been there.
And he's like, but I really want to see this girl. I think I feel good enough to go see her. So they start walking, they meet up. We're walking around town, and like 10 minutes into the walking around portion of the date, this guy massively shits his pants. And
That's a nightmare.
Nightmare. So
I
he's
have
like,
nightmares about that, actually. I'm not kidding.
oh yeah, it's the worst feeling in the world, right? So he's like, fuck, I think, but it wasn't bad enough that it was unsalvageable.
What kind of pants are we talking about in this
Okay.
situation?
Like
if you shit your pants on a date, I don't think it's ever salvageable. There's shit in your pants.
No. But just listen to the story, okay? So they're in like some downtown kind of shopping district, and this guy is like, the wheels are spinning in his brain. He's like, what do I do? What do I do? And they pass a gap. And so he says to the girl he's with, he's like, oh, you know what? I'm really sorry to do this, but I just remembered my cousin's birthday is tomorrow. And I want to, his favorite store is the Gap. I just want to go in like real quick to like, to get something for him. And the girl's like, okay, I guess. So they walk into the Gap together. And this guy...
Wait, but he's with her and he has shit in his pants right now.
He does. That's correct. But
she's already noticed then. There's no way you can stand next to someone and have shit in your pants and they don't notice.
Well, look, obviously I'm not inside this girl's head. So I can't say what she did or didn't know. No one can really say, and this is an interesting point we should get back to later. No one can really say what another human does or doesn't know, right? But the way the story was recounted to me, the girl did not know. So he goes in the Gap and he makes a beeline for the pants. But he's like, this would be so weird if I just walk into the Gap to buy a pair of pants for no reason. So he's like,
he's got to put them on too.
Well, we're getting to that. So, so he's like, okay, I'll get something else. He gets a shirt. He's trying to move this whole process along. So he goes up to the cashier.
Wait, he gets a shirt?
He just goes. He picks out a shirt too. So he walks up to the cash register. He got pants, shirt. I think he said he got a couple other things too. And he goes up to the cash register and he's checking out. He's like, "Hey, sorry, I'm really in a rush here because obviously, there's a clock counting down to when this becomes a visible and possibly olfactory problem."
How was it already not? It's shit in his pants.
I have so many questions.
Look, all I can tell you is that the way this story was told to me, it was not yet a problem. I can't answer it. I wasn't there. So he rushes up to the cash register, tells the girl, like, hey, just wait here for a second. I'll be right back. Just going to check out.
Okay.
Goes up to the cash register and is like, hey, can we just hurry this along? I just want all this stuff. And he's like, and the cashier is like, no problem. Puts the stuff in a bag. He checks out and goes. And now they're going to take the train, the subway, to their next destination. So he's like, okay, this is my moment. Because I can't, by the way, he's like, I can't go to the dressing room because I said this is for my cousin, right? Because also it would be a kind of a selfish, weird act on a date. Be like, actually, I'm going to go, I'm just going to go buy some clothes for myself, at least in this guy's mind. So
couldn't they just go clothes shopping? Like, that's a fun date activity.
But I think they had to be somewhere, maybe. I don't really recall. But they have to get on the subway to go to the next stop. Okay. So he's like, okay, this is my deal. You know how if you've ever been on the New York subway, you can go between the cars.
Well,
right?
yeah, and also the New York subway already smells like shit, so...
smells like shit, so he's going to know. So he's like, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on the train, and I'm going to go between the cars. I'm going to just excuse myself for a second. I'm going to go between the cars, change real quick there, get back on. All right, this is the guy's plan. So they get on the train. He says, hey, just a second. I think I see someone I know in that car there. Just hold on. I'll be right back. So he pops between the set of cars. At this point, his pants are like rank with shit.
Yeah, she's noticed, dude.
Okay, maybe so. I can't comment on this, and I have established this. So I don't know. Anyway, he's like, I got to get these things off. He takes off his pants, takes off his underwear, I presume, kind of cleans himself up.
Well, he's got to take I mean, you can't just take the pants off and leave the underwear full of shit still.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
He's got to take it all off.
I see we have a fellow strategist. That's exactly right.
So, I thought through this stuff. I know how it works.
Everyone's thought through this exact scenario. So he takes these, like, I got these pants full of shit now. What am I going to do? Oh, I'm on the subway. He just throws them off the train. Okay,
Genius.
He just throws them off. Reaches into the Gap bag to find nothing but shirts.
Oh my God.
And at this point, he has a decision to make, which is, what do I do? Now, this is before there was cell phone reception in the subway. Okay?
Oh.
So this is before the cell phone reception in the subway. He's like, what do I do at this point? And his brain says, don't go back. So he stands in between the car, kind of hiding, and just lets this girl go until the end of the line on the subway, and she never called him again.
That's the best way it could have ended, honestly.
Yeah.
Minus putting pants on, but I have so many questions here because
Look, we all do.
why? What? So but she would, first of all, there's no way you massively shit your pants and then have the time to walk around to the Gap, back to the train station, and no one smells shit. When I shit my pants, I smell it immediately, just from personal experience, and so does everybody else around me.
I think that's a good point. If the story is true, as it was presented to me, it may have not been a massive shit, but just like a teeny little shit.
Okay, a little.
That's always a possibility.
A shart is a much different story than full on.
You know what? You're
Like, did
right,
he have a
and
log of shit in his pants, or are we talking like a
Look, I'd love to be able to answer this. I presume from the stomach troubles, it was probably
a little bit of a shart? Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah.
Now also, didn't he go in to buy pants? Why do you only have shirts?
He did. The cashier forgot to put them in the bag.
Oh, wow. That's the worst time that ever could have happened. And also,
Right.
So, but the girl obviously gets off the train without him, but then what does he do if he has no pants?
Well, that's a very good question. It's also New York.
He's now in, fit right in.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wow. That is...
I mean, he had shirts, so he could, like, tie something around his waist or something,
He could have a T-shirt on as pants and still smell like shit. That's incredible. I had another question about this.
Discussion group.
What was the other question I just had?
Honestly, you're on a date. You shit your pants. You just tell them, right? Just be like, look.
No, the sane thing
There's
to
no
do,
way around it.
There's no way around it. The same thing to do, even if you don't want to tell them, you say, I'm really sorry, I'm not feeling well. I want to see you again, but I just have to go, like, right now. Even if you don't want to tell them, you don't make up this elaborate excuse. You just say, I'm so sorry, I don't feel good.
Because there's
that's
one
why I would
scenario
throw up on
in which
myself.
you shit your pants, and then there's another where you shit your pants and you're a liar.
Right, that's right.
And you ghosted because like he disappeared, and she's like, well, okay, but she obviously knew he shit his pants. So on this date, he shit his pants and ghosted.
Maybe
And now on another podcast, this woman's telling a story about the time that she went on a date with the guy and he shit his pants and then ghosted her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that's on the Ghost Shitters cast.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time I shit my pants?
Well, let me check my records.
It's been a while. Actually, so believe it or not. A lot of it happened in 2020. Oh my God, it's 2022. I was like, last year was 2020. No, a lot of it happened in 2021. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Right? 2020? Whenever I had my asshole surgery, there was a lot of that following.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Horrible week. Worst week of my life after that. They only gave me Tylenol for some reason.
Ooh.
Yeah, I didn't know you were having it, and then you texted me. I had surgery on my asshole one night.
Yeah, I needed someone to talk to, man. It was rough. It hurt really, really bad.
That's why they call me the butthole guy.
Yeah.
Didn't you also get nose surgery recently?
Yes. I got nose surgery at the beginning of last year because my septum was like so deviated that on the x-ray you couldn't even see the clear passage. It was just like one passage and then just completely just...
How much better is your life now? Because I also desperately need this surgery.
It is life-changing. It was incredible because the recovery was nothing. Like, the recovery was fine. I felt fine the same day. And
Shit.
for that, they gave me a Vicodin prescription. And I'm like, why did they give me Vicodin for this painless recovery when my asshole was literally like full of stitches and just the most painful thing in the world, and they give me Tylenol. It didn't make any sense.
Wow.
But yeah, I tell you what, the nose thing is, like, right when they woke me up in the hospital, they were like, take a deep breath, and I was like, because it used to be if I covered up this nostril and I breathed in, it would just be like, like you couldn't even, I couldn't even breathe out of it, really.
Was that because of an accident, or that's just how you were built?
No, it's just how it's always been.
Crazy.
And I find myself a lot less tired nowadays because I think that I had a lot of sleep. I still have a lot of sleep issues, but I think that before I had that nose surgery, a lot of my sleep issues were I just wasn't getting enough oxygen at night. Because they said I had sleep apnea after doing a sleep study, and I think that they just mistook
I have sleep apnea. Yeah.
Well, I got the CPAP machine. I got the pap smear machine and everything, and I think that they like just mistook it for sleep apnea because I have no other symptoms of sleep apnea, and I you know, this is my last podcast before I die of sleep apnea tonight. But I do have narcolepsy, but that's
I would imagine sleep apnea it probably gets more common as you get older. It's probably unusual to have sleep apnea at like 25 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of sleep. I have insomnia and I have narcolepsy. But on the sleep test, they just said I had sleep apnea, and I'm guessing it's because my oxygen flow. I would always wake up because I think that I breathe through my nose and I wouldn't get enough oxygen, so I'd wake myself up, which probably looks the same on the sleep study as, you know, sleep apnea where you stop breathing.
Yeah, I just was listening.
I have needed that surgery for like so long, and I was going to get it, and then it was March 2020, and I just need to do it because I know that it will significantly improve my life because I straight up cannot breathe out of my nose, which is great when you do a podcast.
Can you cover up like the one that works and try to breathe through the other one?
I'm not gonna do it on this show, but it's a grim thing. If I tilted my head back, you would see how bad it is.
You could see it when you looked up On mine, like one nostril was regular size, and the other one on the inside was just a slit. And it literally did this. It was a curve like that.
Mine are both Voldemort's slits.
Yeah, and I got a scan of my like an X-ray from the top to see another view, and it's crazy how like I have X-rays of it still of my head. I'm gonna see if I can find it because it was just.
And you've had that ever since you were little,
as far as I can remember. Yeah, and
crazy.
Being able to breathe is just. Oh, it's
one
great.
of the.
I'm so jealous.
Great.
It's important.
It's almost like it's one of the crucial things you need in your life.
Whenever I do get the surgery, I'm gonna insist that the doctor take pictures of my face while it's like cut open and shit.
Oh, I got a good picture like shortly when I got home. My nose was just pouring blood, and I got a good picture on my Instagram story. Let me see if I can actually find. I'll show you guys real quick.
Oh yeah, is it just you with like a super bloody nose?
Yeah, and it's like all over my.
I recall this. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Here's the X-rays. Okay, I don't know how well you can see this, but you could kind of see like nope, that's just me. Here, can you see yep. like how deviated it is on one side? And then I have here's from the top down, the septum reveal.
Dude.
It's supposed to be 2 clear passageways, but you can only see.
Oh, there it is. Oh my God.
See how like there's not even a clear passageway on the second one?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, and that's right after when I got out of surgery and I got home.
Wow.
That's a vibe.
That's
very 2012 Tumblr aesthetic of you.
Yeah. They put a stent up my nose. They put like this huge stent that I didn't know was that big up there. And then when I had to get it removed, they took it and they pulled it out and it was like that big. It was awesome.
Crazy.
The things that were coming out of my nose after that surgery were awesome.
I bet.
Yeah, very satisfying,
insane.
I'm sure.
Very satisfying, just unbelievable.
This is the exact kind of surgery you need, Leighton?
I need to get a full functional rhinoplasty, which you would call it a rhinoplasty, but insurance doesn't cover it unless you call it a functional one.
Really?
Yeah.
Because otherwise they think it's just plastic surgery.
Septoplasty or something?
Yeah, well, because like a rhinoplasty is different from a septoplasty. I have to do like a full rhinoplasty because it's not only like my septum's fucked, but also both nasal canals are collapsed, and also I have
my God.
cysts. So
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Yeah, they I didn't have any like cartilage in my septum where it needed to be. It was just like floppy, so they had to put cartilage in my septum.
Did you try rubbing it?
Yeah. And it didn't, still nothing. So, but now I have cartilage where there used to not be cartilage, and it's a weird feeling. And they told me that
Did they
they'll
have to put new cartilage in, or did your nose just make it?
no, they had to put it in, but they got it from my septum because it was curved. So when they straightened it out, there was extra because
That's
a curved
wild.
line.
wow, what
compared
does
to a straight
extra
line.
cartilage look like? Is it just sort of?
Well, it's in my nose now. It's like the very bottom tip of my nose, and it was great surgery. Can't recommend it enough. I love surgery. It was fantastic.
I'm so glad that we've covered so many topics that will be very easy to listen to for
my
anybody
God.
who's squeamish about body stuff.
Yeah, shitting of the pants. Well, okay.
Vomit.
I think that I've every podcast I go on, even I didn't even bring it up this time. It just somehow always turns to something about shitting. Every time I'm a guest, there's something about shitting pants, or I actually shit my pants at the Game Grumps office once.
I mean, haven't we all?
Surely you're not the only one who's done that.
Oh, I know Aaron's done it. Yeah, I shit my. It was late at night, and Ryan and I were at the office recording some SuperMega content.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Yo, Ryan, check this out!" And I like turned around to like rip ass at him, and then I just shit my pants. And I was like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "Ryan, did I shit my pants?" He's like, "Yeah, I can see it." So Ryan, being the good friend he is, got up and drove back to our apartment and FaceTimed me. And got me a pair of underwear and a pair of pants,
God.
and
What a
drove
sweetheart.
back.
That's a
But we had
true homie.
ordered food. So I was scared. I was really scared that the food was going to get there before Ryan was going to come back. So I just walked around the Game Grumps office butt ass naked for about 20 minutes, waiting for Ryan to bring me back non-shit pants.
Wow. And this is like late at night or something.
It's probably like 8 or 9 p.m. But this was before the office was like renovated. This was old school Grumps office.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's my.
Should we
my-
introduce the show now that we've
Yes.
extensively talked
Yeah.
about shitting our pants?
Yeah, let's do it, because this is a big episode, right? This is episode number 100.
I
this
completely.
show.
I was having such a good time hanging out that I forgot that this is like a milestone episode. And now, if anybody's
It's a
ever
big one.
like, "Hey, go listen to the episode 100 of Late at Night," and it's 50
Yeah.
minutes of us talking about shitting our pants.
And nasal and butthole surgery. So
Myrtle
everybody,
Beach.
this is episode 100 of Late Night with Brian Wecht. Over here we have Leighton Gray.
Hey, that's me, the one who just spoke. That was Brian.
What's up?
Mystery guest. 100th mystery guest.
It's me.
Who the fuck are you?
It's me,
And your name is...
Matthew Watson.
Wow.
It's
and
me.
Matt, describe yourself in one or two sentences.
1 or 2 sentences.
Yeah.
I am an influencer who influences on the internet with his influence. Being
See,
comedy.
I would have described you as a flirty bad boy with no regard for human decency.
Brian. Well, that's what I describe myself when I'm not on a podcast. I describe myself as a little bit of a bad boy. I know a thing or two about motorcycles.
No, you're one of the original bad boys of the internet, I believe,
Yes,
famously.
yes, I am, and that's something that I'll always keep it at heart with me.
Well, we are very, very excited to have you on the show this week, especially for such a milestone episode. So
Yeah.
thank you for being here with us.
Absolutely, thank you guys for having me. I've been meaning to come on this podcast for quite some time now.
For 100 episodes.
100 whole episodes, yeah. You guys asked me in the very beginning, and then have asked me throughout, and for some reason it's always slipped through the cracks.
We get it. We're all busy.
Yeah.
But now, you know, when you guys invited me and you're like, it's the 100th episode, I was like honored to be. So I said, you know what, F it, I'm going on.
And here you are.
And it's episode 100.
My agent was trying to stop me the whole time, honestly.
No,
that's why I
you
haven't.
don't
But I
listen to-
fired him.
Don't listen to
His name
agents.
was Brent. He's gone now.
It's really funny that he would tell you that, considering he was on the show last week.
Well, that's why he didn't want to be upstaged.
Yep.
True.
That's how Brent's a little son of a bitch, and he gets very jealous very easy. He always thinks everyone else is going to steal the stage from him. So
Did he tell you, because he told us,
about
and
the
he told us on
charges
the show.
that he's facing right now? Yeah, those are pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I don't think he wants us to talk about those.
As his lawyer, I can't comment on them. He was reluctant to be on this show because of a time he was on your show. Do you know about this?
Well, he's been on the show. He's been on our show several times, always uninvited, actually.
Right.
So he can't really get mad at anything from our show when he put himself in the situation. I mean, he's been talked about on our show a lot.
Yeah, so he came on your show and said, I didn't even know this was an incident. And I don't think it really was. I think he just read comments when he shouldn't have.
With
he
his
said
penis?
something about being, well, believe me, we talked extensively about his very large and very disgusting penis.
Yes.
But he was on your show and he said something about being proud of you guys for being successful. And apparently certain people got mad at him saying that.
Right, because people wanted us to not be successful, and they want to kick us down every chance they get.
Yeah.
So hearing somebody encourage us was very upsetting for them.
Are you aware that was a thing people were upset about, or had you not heard that before?
When he congratulated us for being more popular and successful than the Game Grumps. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
No,
That's
yeah.
right.
I think he briefly mentioned it to me once that people thought he was saying it like in a condescending way.
Right.
But no, I know Brent would never be condescending.
No.
Never.
But
I
Yeah,
love
go
Brent so much, though. Brent is truly someone special. Truly
really
a special
is.
man. And it's crazy to think that I've known Brent now almost 7 years. Right? Almost.
Yeah. How many people
Wow.
can you say have bailed you out of jail?
that's
yeah,
true.
just Brent. Well, he didn't pay any bail, so I can't give him that credit. There was no bail to be paid. I was only
Sure.
detained, not arrested.
Yeah.
Unlike Brent. But yeah. You know, he's a great guy. Great guy. I love Brent. And, you know, he's got a problem downstairs that he needs to really address. And a bar of soap would just be a simple solution, but he doesn't, try telling him. But it's all right.
He hates it. It's not that he doesn't like the idea of soap. He doesn't like the soap industry. He has some moral
Right, I get that, but there-
objections to it.
Yeah, well, you don't even need soap. I mean, just some hot water,
Well,
will
you-
do.
you'd
Maybe a little
think-
eucalyptus oil.
Yeah, I've tried to have this discussion with him, but he just
We all
refuses
have.
to engage. I'm sure you've tried. He just walks away.
Yeah, we had to
You
make
got-
it public at some point to get more word out there.
Raise
But,
awareness. Start a
well-
GoFundMe.
We love spreading wildly untrue and unflattering rumors about people in our life
Yeah,
to
so-
the internet.
We're really professional in the way that we have absolutely zero professionalism, and so I wanted to ask somebody else who is also an unprofessional, who's been podcasting longer than we have considerably. Like, what episode of the show are you guys on?
After I hang up this call, I have to go edit episode 280.
Wow,
God damn!
that's awesome.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
I'm so
Almost
proud
at
of you
300.
guys.
Aw,
Oh
thank
shit!
you.
Oh
Come at
shit!
me.
You're fucked, Leighton. You're fucked.
It's fun. I love podcasting, and I'm excited to be as far as we are. Honestly, I didn't think we would get to episode 280 even. So
I did not think that we personally would get past episode 5. So
hey, look at
There-
you.
There was
Let's
some
go.
tension early on that
Yeah.
eventually I wouldn't say it got
Creative
resolved so much as ignored.
Brian, you got to not bring in the politics. Who is messaging me? What the hell? Do you hear this?
yeah, I also just got like 10 messages from someone.
But what were you saying, Leighton? You were asking me a question about professionalism.
Oh, I was gonna
And
ask
how did I get so professional?
from one big dick podcaster to another. How do you do it? What's your secret?
What's the secret to keeping the spice in a podcast over 280 episodes? How do you keep things interesting?
Well, the secret is being contractually obligated to release a podcast every single week by a large corporation, or else we'll face legal punishments. So that's the real answer. No, I just, what I used to worry about earlier in the podcast around, especially I guess around episode 100, was like,
Talking about like shitting and nasal surgery.
We're gonna run out of things to talk about. Like how are we just gonna keep sitting down every week and talking? And then I realized it's impossible to run out of things to talk about, especially when you can talk about things like shitting. There's always something to talk about. So Ryan and I just sit down and just fucking go for it. We never plan a podcast with topics or anything. We just sit down, turn on the mics, and go. And I don't know, it's never changed. It's always been the same process of recording and just sitting and talking with each other, and that's what it will always stay. So I guess the reason that the spark is there is because we are genuinely good friends and we enjoy making each other laugh and talking, and then that's what keeps it going. If we didn't like each other, if it was just a business thing, kind of like what you guys have going, it would be difficult.
Sorry,
I understand.
To be fair, you're thinking about Ninja Sex Party.
Yeah, that's sorry, that's what I meant. But yeah, honestly, I think the friendship is if you do a podcast or just anything with someone that you're good friends with, there's a lot of fun chemistry. It could put a strain on a friendship for sure. Ryan and I don't talk outside of SuperMega ever, but it's fun, you know?
Well, look, because at some point you trade friendship for money.
Right,
and that's just a choice you can make. And
you'd much rather have money over friendship.
That's right. Because look, you can get more friends. You can't get more money.
Exactly. You know,
it's the only way to get more money. Just trade all friend for money.
Yeah,
that's
right.
just what I've been doing in Civ.
The idea,
I've read The Art of the Deal.
Well, what you should do is you go down your friend list and you think, how can I monetize this relationship? Right? In order. And then you start a project with everyone on your friend list.
Yeah.
And make some coin.
Eventually you burn out and you die.
Yeah, but right. You made some coin in the process.
That's right.
You know? Friends.
And that's why you need a prenup.
Friends come and go, but money is forever.
Yeah.
I think is what they say. But yeah, I mean, you guys, I can tell, have great chemistry. It's all about doing it with someone that's fun, that has good chemistry with you. Ryan and I have chemistry.
No,
I like to think
forever.
Not like sexual tension chemistry, but like we just we know how to riff off of each other. So we use that to our advantage.
My favorite thing about you guys is you take big swings. Like you do big awesome things, like with the NASCAR thing, and you wrote a book, and you take big chances that I think pay off more often than not. And even when they don't, they're at least interesting and fun.
Thank you.
And honestly, when I think about like, whatever the next year or so, Leighton and I were kind of talking about this yesterday, what we want to do, I use you guys as an example of, look, here are people who are like really taking some chances and doing fun and genuinely interesting and new stuff. So I'm so impressed with you guys.
Thank you so much, man.
In many, many ways, but
making me
It
blush.
also doesn't hurt that you two are like two of the most aggressively funny people I've ever encountered.
Oh,
So
thank
that-
you.
yeah,
You
yeah.
guys are gonna make me tear up.
Yeah, cry, bitch.
I'm thinking about it right now.
That's our new segment. It's just called
Yeah.
Cry.
Cry, bitch.
It's where we compliment someone into crying. Yeah,
You compliment them to get them like in a safe position and open up, just so you can tear them down
they just-
shortly
yeah.
after.
We in the industry call that love bombing.
Hell
Exactly.
yeah, we do.
That's something that we try to do is like we try to every year pick out a couple things that are like big, where it's like, oh, this is just we like being known as like taking a bit too far, or like wouldn't it be crazy if we did this and then doing
Yes.
it? Like the NASCAR thing was an example of like, I don't think any other YouTubers have ever gotten a NASCAR before, which I actually learned that if you call it a NASCAR fans get very mad because it's not a NASCAR. NASCAR's the company.
It's a fast car.
It's a race car that's in a NASCAR race. So I still call it a NASCAR just because it's I like to piss them off.
It's like the assholes who get mad when you say Legos.
Are you not supposed to say Legos?
No, you're supposed to say Lego bricks.
What?
So the plural.
Who gives a fuck?
This is if you pick up what I would call a Lego, people would be like,
"That's a Lego brick."
Lego. That's a Lego brick.
Lego's the brand.
Lego's the brand.
Okay.
And the things are bricks. So.
Well, you don't say a Coca-Cola. Oh, yeah, you do actually.
You do. You say this for a
say...
million other fucking things. It's like, whatever. I bought a Honda.
They know what I'm talking about, though. That's the thing with the English language is if they don't understand that, then they're an idiot. It's the context
Chapman's NASCAR. And then,
exactly.
I was just sitting on that one for like a full 60 seconds.
That's a good one.
That's how podcasting works.
It is.
Yep.
You think of something funny and then you wait, and then if you don't get a chance if the moment passes, then you forget it, and then you linger on it for the rest of the podcast. Like, what was I gonna say? Fuck.
What's something? Maybe you don't want to say it because it's upcoming, but what's something? Can you think of a big chance you wanted to take that you were like, nah, that's going too far, or we can't do it, or something like that? Does anything jump out like that?
There's a couple of. Well, they're not off the table, but we've been toying with the idea of going to Antarctica. We do have some big ones coming up that are cool. I don't really want to talk about,
right,
but
of course.
I think big ones that we scrapped because it just didn't seem. We were gonna go skydiving. I mean, that's not that big, but Ryan is deathly afraid of.
Oh, dude,
of that.
Scares the hell out of me.
Which I don't blame him at all. I mean, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think over some. We've thought about. We've joked about sponsoring like a little league team, but just that wasn't really worth it. I'm trying. I don't think we have anything like that we've really scrapped like fully, because usually instead of fully scrapping, we'll just kind of put it on the back burner, and then if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I was going to say the other thing that to me is so cool about what you do is you very much have the spirit of, well, let's just fucking do it. Like with your music stuff, which is great. I love that.
Thank you.
You were like texting me about mixing and stuff, and you're like, I'm just going to learn it myself. Like that is literally when I think about what kind of dad I want to be, that's one of the values I want to instill in Audrey is the like, I can learn it, I can do it.
So you're saying I'd be a good son?
I mean, look, we are taking applications at the moment. If you're looking to get adopted, now...
I could have a father that would say he's proud of me?
No, I mean, we'll talk.
Okay.
Depends how much you're willing to pay.
Okay.
But
you gotta work
there's
for
a
it.
price for everything.
Okay.
Yeah, look, if you want to live here...
It would be nice to have a father that would say that.
But in all honesty, though, I one of the things I want to teach Audrey is this spirit of I'm just going to learn it and do it, which is something that I feel like is very hard to teach people. Like some people have that as like that vibe, and some people don't. You can learn it, of course, but I think a lot. Of course, I use my academic experience too. This is like the difference between what we would call like an undergrad and a grad student in terms of just kind of general ethos. Like a grad student aesthetic is so like an undergrad or a high school student will often say, well, nobody taught me. I don't know it because nobody taught me, and it's not my fault I don't know it. And there is a point to which that's true, of course.
Right.
Very early on. What you try to teach people as they go on in their academic careers is no one's going to teach you. You just have to go learn it. Like, go learn it yourself and figure it out.
Right.
And it's ultimately not anyone else's responsibility for what you do or don't know, or in the case of what you do or don't create. Like, you had an interest in music, and you're like, I'm going to try this and do it. And I love that. I think that's incredible.
Thank you. That means a lot. I owe a lot of that to my late friend Daniel, because he would want to, like, figure out how to do something. Like, there'd be something that he would, when we would make videos and stuff, he'd be like, there'd be like a special effect we need to learn. He'd be like, oh, I'll figure out how to do it. And then he would teach himself really quick. And that was always super inspiring to me. So I carry that with me a lot, that mindset of, because if you want to learn how to do something, no matter who you are, if you put your mind to it, you can.
Totally.
I sound like a high school inspirational motivation coach. But it is true. It's if you have the will, like the want to do it, you can find a way to make it happen.
Totally.
It's also the way that you talk to yourself about it, because I feel like maybe both of you get this in life in general, of people being like, oh, I could never do that. But like, I don't know if you keep telling yourself
that,
I could never do that. Like, there are many, many things in my life that I've thought like, oh, I can never do that. But then it's just time and patience. And not everybody has time. Like, you know,
Absolutely.
time is a luxury to do things.
And
But yeah, it's with such a glut of information available, you just got to have not even the discipline. You just, if you want it, go get after it.
Yeah, and that's something that is really different about the world in which you guys grew up in compared to the world I grew up in, where like this kind of information of how to do something was behind a lot more closed doors than it is now. Like, you couldn't just, you know, watch a YouTube video on the thing the software you want to learn or whatever. It was a lot more protected. And with the advent of the internet, now, and this isn't true for everything, there's still plenty of things where you need to like really, really be taught. But for like some pretty complicated stuff, you can go watch a YouTube video on how to do it. And you probably won't crush it the first time, but you'll have a building block that otherwise wouldn't have been there.
Yeah, because I suck at most of the things that I try. But
same.
It's like a lot of a lot of even just having like a little bit of a foot in the door there is enough for me, because I've been trying to learn how to code for years, for, you know, like 9-10 years, and I've never gotten past like the most basic beginner phase. But it's like, I know that I eventually can do it. Like, I tell myself sometimes, like, I can't do coding because I suck at math, and I'm like a visual learner and visual brain guy, not really like a technical, you know, numbers and stuff aren't my strong suit. But, you know, if you tell yourself, no, you can't do it, then you believe that, and then that's right. That becomes reality. So
and you have to be willing to get through the phase of it sucking.
Yeah.
And also not do things with the end goal of, I'm going to be really great at this. Just like do it and learn it, because if you stopped every time you started sucking at something, you would never ever learn to do anything new.
Right.
And then it becomes a cycle where you're like, oh, well, I never do anything. I can't do any, like, it's self-defeating.
You got to get through the suck phase.
Well, and there's often, and this happens a lot in math and physics, is there's like intro stuff that might not be your strong suit, but then once you get past that and kind of build up the foundation, the more advanced stuff is more like how your brain works. So there are plenty of, like, I know plenty of mathematicians that are fucking terrible at like arithmetic, you know, but they're very good at, you know, kind of big abstract problems. And so, but the way math is taught, and for pretty good reasons, is you have to get past this first blockade of like numbers and all that shit before you get to the very abstract kind of thing. And so this happens with computer science is related to, maybe it's the beginning stuff, and you don't know till you try it, that is not quite how your brain works. But then when you get to the bigger type of thing that you need the beginning stuff to form the foundation of, that you might find yourself like, oh my God, actually, this is kind of how I think. And I just was there was a wall up that I had to get over first.
Also, Matt, if you're interested in talking about this off air, they're like, you can totally boil the frog on your own programming knowledge, because I'm also not a mathy programming person, but there are certain things that you can use that make it a lot more visual.
Oh, I was just saying, I've been trying to learn Godot, which is it's a game engine that is quickly like becoming like one of the most popular. It's like replacing, a lot of people are switching from like Unity and stuff just because it's
really,
it's like a really, really good programming language, and they make it really, you should look into it. It's like basically like a super simplified but incredibly powerful, I think the new Sonic game for Switch was made with Godot. It's really cool. You should check it out. It's something I've been trying to learn, and the interface is incredible.
Yeah, I can't believe that I had not. I mean, I also have had my head under a rock for the past.
Go
like,
check
8
it
months.
out. I don't know if you use Unity or whatever, but there's a lot of videos on why people switch from Unity to Godot. And you can actually, they have their own programming language called GDScript, but you can also use like C#. You can use like 5 different programming languages in it, and it's open source, so you
That's
can
awesome.
Yeah,
make it
because
do
I
anything.
started learning Blender in the past few months, which being open source and also like the best, just the level of access and more people being able to do it means
I love
you
the
have
3D
more
stuff you've been
videos.
making. The little
you.
like house you did, the like kitchen and the living room and stuff. I love that.
Thanks, dude. I have a lot of fun doing those things, and that's another thing that I was like, I'm never gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, that's how I am right now with Blender. Is I've never really I haven't really sat down and tried to 3D model because I'm too nervous. That I'm like, oh, Blender looks hard.
My
Yeah.
recommendation is the way that I got into it was there are a million places to get free 3D models online. Play with the shaders because you know how to use Adobe Suite software and like how adjustment layers work. Like the shader node system is almost exactly like multiply, overlay, blend.
Yeah, that's one of the things about Godot is like the shaders are insane that you can get. And there's a really big community for it. So go check that out after the podcast. It's really cool.
Yeah,
I'm going to try
awesome.
to, I just have a hard time, I sleep so much. I have a hard time getting into things and sticking with it.
Yeah.
With the music stuff, I can't remember. Did you learn any theory, or is that pretty
No,
much
I still
just-
don't know any theory. I kind of have stayed away from it because I feel like with the way my mind works, if I learn theory, then I will try to stick with it. And like, if this makes sense, like I'll start overthinking the way I make music
totally.
instead of kind of just letting it flow.
No, absolutely.
So
think
I
that's a
haven't really
very
learned
legit.
any theory. I kind of just try to make what I hear in my head.
That's great.
But yeah, I mean, I've been working a lot on that lately, and I have a lot of music in the can that isn't out yet. But I'm working on music videos and stuff, and I'm very excited to share it with the world. I actually I'm doing a show at the Lodge Room, or a set in a show on Saturday.
Really?
Of you're performing it? Mm-hmm. That's right, because you did one it was like a month ago.
I did one in Santa Ana, and it was like the
Right,
first time I'd ever
right.
done music live, and it was so much fun.
Yeah,
Such a blast. And
cool.
I'm doing it again on Saturday, like a
What was
small
your setup?
set. Just basically my buddy was DJing it, kind of like running the tracks, and then me, him, and then 2 other friends, and we all make music, so we were all just throwing songs back and forth, like switching between who does like my song, then his song, then his song, then back to
So
another one of my
basically
songs.
Co-DJ.
Yeah, and it was, and we would
cool.
just run back and forth and just kind of like sing and dance with the crowd. It was really fun.
That's great.
Yeah, I loved it. I'm
That's
excited.
awesome, dude. God, I'm so proud of you. You're so creative and
Thank
talented
you,
in so
Leighton.
many
I'm so
different
proud
directions.
of you. Yeah,
Thanks,
I could
dude.
say the exact same thing. In fact, I will say the exact same thing
Wow.
about you,
Wow.
Brian.
You don't even need to address it. It's okay.
Right.
I'm cool. I'm cool.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
It's good. I think we should move on to segments. So Matt, we have 2 segments we do on the show. The first is a pop culture. It's a pop culture recommendation segment. You get to recommend a piece of whatever you've been enjoying recently, a book, a movie, a video game, etc. Now, here's the thing about this segment, and this is interesting because you're hitting us at kind of an inflection point here. This segment previously was called What's Poppin'. Now, we had someone named Brent Lilly on the show last week and asked him to rename the segment.
Oh,
And
okay.
Now, Brent has many
That's
strengths.
risky. That's risky,
Well,
right?
Well, Brent has many strengths. He is a loyal friend. He has a good business sense. He's a very sweet guy, but creative decisions are not his forte. So we asked him to rename our pop culture recommendation segment. And we said, because originally your friend and mine, Ethan Nestor, named it round about episode 3, I believe.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic came up with the title What's Poppin', and we were like, let's throw
fantastic.
this out. Let's let the universe name this segment. Unfortunately, the corner of the universe we chose had Brent Lilly.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So I think for this one, I would like to ask you to rename
Oh no.
the segment.
Well, now
for our pop culture recommendation segment, formerly What's Poppin', Brent called it, and you know what? Can you guess? Can you guess?
Yeah, go ahead and guess what Brent called it.
What did Brent name our pop culture recommendation segment?
Oh, the pop culture recommendation part. That's cool. That's hip.
You're not terribly far off in some sense. He called it the BLB corner.
The BLB corner?
For Brent, Leighton, and Brian.
Okay. Well, that unfortunately is going to have to go.
I think it's going to have to go. But
well, if you do Brian, Leighton, and Matt, it's the BLM corner. So I guess you can't really call it that one.
Well, you know
or
what?
If you mix it around, it's the MLB corner, which is Major League Baseball. So
and we don't have their express written consent.
No.
Well, so we're throwing this out to you. You get to rename our pop culture recommendation.
Oh, geez.
Segment.
Okay.
What would you call this? And first thought, best thought. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What's the vibe?
Let me think. So it was What's Poppin'.
It was What's Poppin'.
And then it was the BLB corner.
Now listen. Here's the decision you actually get to make. You get to keep that name, or you get to trade it out for one you like more.
I get to decide to keep the BLB corner if I want?
If you want to keep the name the BLB corner for this segment, you can keep it. Or you can trade it out for something you like more.
And you can make Brent look like a chump.
Yeah.
I could definitely. I feel like I could come up with something better than.
Or you could really stick it to us and like force us to keep this terrible fucking name for our pop culture recommendation segment. A name so unmarketable that I can't think of a single good thing about it.
No, it's very unmarketable, especially if the audience has never even heard of Brent.
That's right.
Or I'm sure they've heard of him, but for the crimes and stuff, but not for the.
Of course.
I think. Give me a second. All right, I need to bust out my handy friend on the internet. It's a tool I like to use for ideas. Let me think. So it's the part of the podcast where you talk about pop culture. So I got a couple.
Okay.
Okay. You could call it the pop shop because you're talking shop about pop.
I like that.
You could call it you can call it the pop stop. Hey, now on to the pop stop. We're gonna talk about pop non-stop.
Leighton, I'm throwing to you. What do you like? We could combine them. We could be the pop stop shop.
The non-stop pop shop stop.
I don't hate it. It's certainly better than the BLB corner.
Non-stop pop stop? Non-stop pop shop.
I'm going to excuse myself to pee. When I come back, you two will have made a decision.
Okay,
great.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Farewell. All right, Leighton, what is it?
He always does this. He's pulling the ripcord on a bit and just making both of us do the emotional labor of coming up with the name for this segment.
Yeah, it's real easy for him. The pop shop is my best.
Pop on top.
Hop on pop.
There you
You
go.
guys are hopping on pop
Yeah.
culture. Let me think.
No wrong answers.
What's another word for pop culture?
He totally did not piss.
No, there's no way he pissed that quick. He just walked out of the room.
This is like,
All right, so I
I'm
can't
gonna
hear
go to
you
the
yet.
bathroom
I'm
right
back.
after
Hold on, I
dinner.
have to tie my shoe. So you have a second. Can't hear you.
Right.
Wait, it's really knotted. You have slightly longer than I thought.
Brian, you didn't piss.
I cannot hear anything you're saying. And
Like, that was unbelievably You
Now
didn't
they're back.
piss, Brian. That was unbelievably a short amount of time to piss.
Some
There's
step
no
was
piss.
omitted there.
No piss left your penis. There was
Well,
absolutely
okay,
no.
Look, due to the extreme smallness of the length of my penis, the piss leaves very, very quickly. So I
Okay,
save
but
about,
even so.
No, I save 30 to 45 seconds compared to a normal sized penis.
Okay, that does make sense. Yeah. All right.
What's the verdict here?
Well, Leighton was thinking of calling it the Brent Lilly Corner, which I wasn't a big fan of, personally. And then
That's
she
fair.
had this one other idea, but I said, okay, well, I don't know if you can actually have something with a racial slur in the title, but she was insistent on it.
Typical.
I wasn't a fan of that one.
You know,
personally,
Matt, I was
Leighton.
trying to be generous when you just
I
kept
wasn't a fan
throwing
of that
out
one.
the like "fuck you, Brian" segment.
No,
But-
well, I was trying to go in key with what you were saying. I didn't really even want to say it, but so I actually regret ever saying that. But I would say
Yes.
the pop stop or the pop shop. I don't know.
It's the pop stop.
It's the pop stop. We're
pop
stopping and
shop.
popping. Pop,
Pop
lock,
shop?
and drop it. Pop shop or pop stop?
Are you picking pop shop, Leighton?
This segment is called "What's Poppin'," and this is the theme song. What's poppin'?
What's poppin'?
You broke me, Brian. It took 100 episodes, but
Great. You finally did it. Okay. Leighton, what's poppin'?
what's poppin' for me is Sid Meier's Civilization 6.
Ooh.
I started playing it the other day, and then suddenly it was a couple of days later. But guess
Oh.
what? I finally got a goddamn victory on Gilgamesh.
I've always wanted to play that game.
Choose a time where you don't have other shit to do. And maybe like set some alarms of like, hey, it's been 4 hours. This thing that I've been telling my ALEXA to do of like, hey, at 11:30, tell me to stop.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see you were spelling out her name.
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't want to inconvenience listeners if they also have the disgusting Bezos device in their home.
See, Ryan and I do the opposite, where we'll yell out the name immediately followed by like, text mom, and then we'll say something awful and then say send,
Genius, actually.
or But yeah, I want to play Civ. It sounds like a fun game.
You have to get over the hump of, because I picked it up on
There's
Switch.
humping in that game. Oh,
A
it's
lot
for
of it.
Switch.
Well,
Dude, Sid Meier was really into humping.
He was a horny dude.
Yeah.
yeah, that's why there's 6 of them. And I got it on Switch, which is stupid, but it was on sale. And so I was like, I need a new thing to get obsessed with because I'm so tired of Animal Crossing. And it was not a good experience playing on Switch, but then it was also on sale on desktop. And I watched YouTube videos where people were playing it on desktop. And I was like, wait, there are like fundamental parts of this game that I've like somehow missed because I can't see them immediately on the Switch UI. Anyway, yeah, if you want something that's just really complicated and eats hours upon hours of your time, I really recommend Sid Meier's Civilization 6.
Ah, okay.
That's what's poppin' for me.
Cool.
That's Leighton's pop stop. That's where
What's
she's.
pop, stoppin', nonstop, BLBin', poppin', one of you.
I have many things I could talk about, but I'm just going to pick one. What is popping for me this week is I am also playing a video game, a game that's a bit older that I haven't played for, I played it once actually on Game Grumps, and I haven't played it since. I'm talking about Diablo 3.
Oh, Diablo.
Which I played the first 2 when they came out, whenever the fuck that was, 90s sometime, 90s, early 2000s. And had sat on Diablo 3 because it seemed like it was mainly multiplayer, and I generally don't like multiplayer stuff. I have no particular interest in playing games with people I don't know online.
Fair.
Yeah, it's just not my thing. And then I was reading, I saw it was on for sale on the Switch, and I was like, oh shit, I never played that. And the review I read was like, it's not very good because mainly the good part is the story mode.
Right.
And the multiplayer isn't so great. And I was like, well, I think you just sold me. So I'm playing Diablo 3 on story mode, and I remember very little about Diablos 1 and 2, but it's fun. It also traumatized Audrey.
Oh,
Which,
No.
Because, well, not really, but
I told you not to force her to play it.
she's really good at it, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. These young kids they're getting better at video games younger and younger.
I know. So we just finished Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity.
Oh.
Which, despite the fact I complained about it on the show about a month ago, and then I 100%ed it because I had gotten far enough that I was just like, fuck it, let me just bring this home. And I was like, what do we play next? Diablo 3. So I was like, hey, Audrey, come watch me play Diablo 3 if you like it. And I had forgotten that there's a lot of horror imagery in the game, and it's real demon-y.
Right. Lots of scary
Lots of demons
monsters.
in the game that's called Diablo.
Yeah, which I should have thought about. So she watched me play it for not very long, and not when anything really gross. We were just like setting up our character. She picked a wizard, a female wizard named Arise. That was her name for it, which I thought was a pretty awesome name for a wizard
dope
character.
Yeah.
And then we went into our first dungeon, and there was a zombie, and she was like, I don't think I like this. And I said, well, honey, you don't have to stay here. You can leave. Are you okay with this? Yes.
What's Diablo rated?
That's a good question that I
Pretty
should
sure
know the answer
it's
to.
M, right? For mature.
Very, very possibly. But so she sees this zombie and she's like, I don't know if I like this. I said, you can go. Are you okay? Yes. Are you sure you are okay? Yes. Is this going to be scary to you? No. Am I going to be hearing about this later tonight when you're trying to go to sleep? No. Are you totally sure about that? Yes. I was like, okay, you can stay here while I play this. Cut to 4 hours later. Daddy. I can't sleep because I'm scared of the zombie.
Classic.
You're scared of the zombie? Yeah. That zombie you said you weren't scared of. I didn't think I was scared of it, but I was.
Oh.
So then I was
Classic.
like, okay, well, you can no longer watch me play this game because it's too scary for you. And I'm really glad, because then it starts to get, after the first 10 minutes, it actually starts to get kind of gruesome, and there's like exploding corpses and stuff.
You gave her a little bit of that diet trauma, which is fine because it'll just make her more interesting when she's older.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing that
More to talk about.
in a few years, she can be like, actually, I kind of want to see that again. Like, maybe I should look at this game. So when she's like, whatever, 11 or 12 or something, she'll be great with it. But at 7, wasn't quite ready for Diablo 3. And also, because the other thing is, it's a lot more, the graphics, this is going to come as a shock to you, got a lot better in the last 20 years. So it wasn't the late 90s,
Right.
like, kind
It
of
looks more
cute dungeon-y
realistic.
thing. It's a lot more realistic. There's a lot more blood and guts and exploding stomachs and shit. Anyway, I'm having a good time playing it. Although the plot makes literally it's just a bunch of quests for things that, or demons that I have no idea who they are. But I'm having a good time. So
Must a video game
That's my
ever
pick.
make sense? They so rarely do.
this one is like, maybe I don't play enough games like this, but it's like, you must travel to the halls of Osrathon to grab the scepter of Lorox. What? Okay. And then you go get it. And it's not, by the way, this game is like fucking easy as shit too. It's like, there's
Really?
nothing hard going. Oh yeah. At least the way I'm doing it, because I'm very good. And like, you're just kind of going through the motions, following these little quests, which are not particularly rewarding. So anyway,
Oh.
but I'm having fun and I'm almost done with it. That's what's popping for me. Matt,
One.
what's popping?
You guys might laugh at me, and this one's gonna come out of left field, okay? I have been enjoying a certain piece of television. A certain piece of television that you might not expect Big Matthew to say he's been watching.
Oh, I wonder if we can guess.
You get one guess.
The Golden Girls spinoff Golden Palace.
Nope. Leighton?
My 600-pound life.
Well, I actually was gonna say a TLC show.
Okay.
I was gonna
close.
say the new season of 90 Day Fiance, but what I was going to say actually is I've quite been enjoying Desperate Housewives. quite a bit.
You got a little bit of Kyle MacLachlan in there, right?
I watched. I'd never watched Desperate Housewives, and I had a friend over, and she was like, "Let's watch Desperate Housewives," and I was like, "Really? No, I don't. I really don't want to watch Desperate Housewives." I didn't know anything about it, so watched the first episode, and I was like, "Okay, we can put the second one on." And then I watched the whole first season, and it's pretty fun show. I'm not gonna lie. It's not what I thought it was gonna be. I thought Desperate Housewives would just be a bunch of desperate housewives, but it's got drama. It's got comedy.
Yep.
It's got guns, and they actually kill characters off. It's pretty fun. I enjoyed the first season quite a bit.
And this was on like 15-ish years
2007,
ago,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, it gets an okay from me. The other thing would be 90 Day Fiance, which one of my favorite shows.
90 Day Fiance is pretty great. I haven't watched it.
It really is?
Unbelievable. Unbelievably
So many
good.
people say this, and I've never seen it.
Unbelievable. It's just watching people's relationships fall apart.
Yeah.
Or you could just come over to my house if you want to see
Yeah,
that.
well, but see, also, the thing is, you just see how stupid these people are in this show. They just make the worst decisions possible. Well, also, I guess I could go over to your house and see that as well.
Yeah.
This is kind of like a perfect full circle, because I think on one of our very first episodes, I recommended 90 Day Fiance, but I watched whatever season it is that has Anfisa, who was just an absolute icon. Who
I haven't
went on
seen
to
that
become
one,
like
actually.
a health YouTuber. It's one of the earlier seasons, I think.
Yeah, I only got in later, but I've seen like all the recent seasons and then all the spin-offs like Before the 90 Days and The Other Way and The Single Life.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic
And
stuff.
I only spitballed 600 Pound Life because I actually have watched. It's been a weird
Yeah, that show TLC
that-
does make some good stuff.
That's a show about people who weigh 600 pounds or one
Yeah.
specific person.
Yeah,
it's-
and going
it's-
to get like extreme weight loss surgery from Dr. Now.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me because of how quickly it plops you into just like ridiculous, complicated, emotional, mental health relationship dynamics. Where it's like, this is just like networks of enablers and everything. And like, let's make it better by shoving in a reality TV crew right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. But TLC, man, they really keep you coming back.
They do. They got some great stuff. They got
The
some great
L is
shows
for
on there.
learning.
I started watching Ancient Aliens the other night, like from episode 1.
Like
And I know
old-
you would love
old
it,
era?
Brian. Very scientific. Yeah,
No,
first season.
that's like, as a physicist, that shit's true. Like
Mm-hmm.
that it's well researched and backed up.
I think that
Yeah.
Rogan guy might agree with you on that.
He might, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But that's what's popping in the pop shop this week.
I love it.
And I'm gonna pop till I drop, baby.
Leighton, do you want to introduce our next and final segment?
Oh yeah. Our final segment that's staying the same is called.
name this one.
No,
Wait.
you don't get to name this one.
Can I piss real quick?
Yes, of course.
May I urinate?
Yes.
I've been drinking hella LaCroix this recording
Yeah.
session.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm on my third
Yep.
LaCroix. All right. I'll BRB. The bathroom's right next to me, so
That's cool.
hey, you might even be able to hear it.
I think this is a new record for how many times a guest has pissed.
can hear it. Patreon
During-
exclusive. Now watch it piss. Wait for it. I'm shy.
I believe in you.
You can do it.
There it is.
All right. Pission accomplished.
I believe that is the episode title.
That was actually pretty painful for some reason.
All right. Well,
I got
this
a toothpick in my. Never mind. Yeah, let's go.
Sometimes it comes out thick.
What's this last segment?
hold on.
No, I don't think I will.
Click. My dream is to hang up on a guest mid-episode.
My dream is for a guest to hang up on us, which
Yeah.
actually sort of happened this episode multiple times already. All right, our final segment is one that's, oh my God, I forgot how we, 100 episodes going strong. We say 3 good things and then one thing that's kind of a bummer. And the segment is called Peaches and Lemon's Happy 100th Episode. Theme song goes here.
Peaches and lemons. Peaches and lemons.
Great. So,
Nice theme
Fucking
song.
got 'em. All
Thanks.
right, so we're each going to start with a lemon, which is a thing that is a bummer or like
but
mild,
like a mild bump.
mild inconvenience.
A thing that is a. Hold on, my toilet is making sound. I gotta shut the door. I have a bidet and it's decided to start whirring its little motor.
Fun way for you
Something-
to flex that you have a bidet.
But it's
Like,
not
hey,
flex.
everybody, my asshole's super clean.
That's
Oh.
I'm flexing the fact that I have a clean asshole, not that I have a bidet.
I have a bidet
They're
too.
they're not expensive. You
I
know,
have
people see it as some fancy thing, but
It's
over in
true,
Europe,
they're not.
everyone has it. In Japan, everyone has it. It's just a.
That's right.
It just I don't see it's America has made people believe that if you have a bidet, you're a rich douchebag. But that's
Right.
just corporate America trying to keep people down with dirty assholes. They don't want people
Yeah.
to have
Right.
clean assholes. I want a
They-
clean asshole.
They've normalized having a real dirty. Who's got a
okay.
lemon?
Just anything right now.
Yeah,
Here,
anything.
One of us can go first. Brian, do you have one?
Yeah, go for it.
No, actually, I don't have one.
All
I couldn't
right,
think of
fine.
one. So
My
you go
lemon,
first.
my lemon is that I've tried to be better about not being on social media or like looking at the internet, and I've fallen back into like my lemon is just Reddit. Like it's so hard to not look at Reddit or like sink time into Reddit. It's just
Yeah.
you do your little patrol, and then you feel bad, and then it's been like
feel
2
that.
hours.
Yeah.
So that's my lemon. It's less Reddit itself and more just like my own lack of self-control. So
yeah,
that's-
I feel that for sure.
yeah.
I've been trying to get in shape, and that's been a tough one.
It's hard.
My lemon is there's a crack in my windshield in my car. That I don't know how it got there. I parked my car outside the SuperMegaplex one day, and I came outside, massive crack in my windshield. I don't know where it came from, but now it's grown much bigger. I thought I could ignore it at first, but now it's like over half my windshield just. So I probably got to take it
no.
in soon, and then have to pay for that, which is not fun because it's probably gonna be expensive. So that's my lemon, baby. That's Big Matthew's lemon.
You nailed it.
I actually couldn't think of one, but I guess I'll do a slightly bigger one. My lemon is it's just being back in this fucking phase of the pandemic where, as
Yes.
a parent, there are no right answers anymore. Mm-hmm. As was true for a while, but it's like, do you send the kid to whatever? Like, Audrey has we sent her for a baking class. Do we send her to the baking class? Like, it's just like every
Right.
decision now, we're back to this fucking thing where it's like, well, it's probably going to be fine. I'm not going to send her to like, to maskless screaming practice, but there's all sorts of like normal things that you have to fucking worry about all the time now, and I'm just so bummed to be back in this place.
Aside from that, does it like mentally, emotionally feel like early 2020? Because I feel like
It does a little bit.
like getting brains smacked back down.
Honestly, not to me, because of the vaccines and everything else that we have that are weapons we didn't have to fight against COVID that we do now. I understand the comparison, but it is so materially different.
Sure.
In that, now, like when I got COVID last month by making out with Brent, it wasn't too bad.
It's always something he gives when you make out with him. It's always something.
Always something.
COVID being on the lesser end, luckily.
Well, believe me. But it was, I had 3 shots. I was like, well, I'm probably going to be fine. And I was totally fine.
Well, yeah, 3 shots will lead to making out with Brent. I'll tell you that right
now. Yeah. So I understand the comparison. To me, it feels so different because now we have all these tools and just understand so much more.
I don't mean materially. I'm not like, oh, we're right back at 2020. But in terms of like where my brain was and how I felt about the world. And despite, I was talking about this with a friend the other day, and like it's weird to have like tangibly developed as a person mentally and emotionally and be in a much better place with more complex ways of thinking about things, and then it'd be like, shit's basically the same.
Yeah, and it's I'm just like, it sucks because I was talking to Ryan about this, how it's like I the whole pandemic I've been in the mindset where it's like, oh, like 5-6 months out it'll be better, but it keeps not, and I'm like, should I just accept that like by 2024 it's still gonna be like this?
No, it's really not. I think I who knows, of course, but
this shit could have been done in like a month.
Yeah, I'm pretty optimistic.
We could have been done by April 2020. If we had just taken it.
I feel everyone keeps saying that they're very optimistic, and I don't know if it's just that I have depression, but I am about as far from optimistic about shit.
Well, I mean, the track record so far has just been.
I don't think I'm not optimistic about people
the vaccine
behaving
is good.
differently. I'm optimistic that this very well might be the last big wave we have of COVID.
I would love that.
That is not
this
at all
YouTube
off the
video.
table.
Well, so many people have it.
Yeah.
Oh, Ryan and I talk about it all the time, and we never get flagged.
Oh,
Does this go on YouTube?
Yes. Yeah, we put it on
Nice.
We totally put so much maintenance into our YouTube channel.
Same.
But yeah, I think people aren't gonna change how they're behaving at this point. That's kind of locked in. But
no, it's done.
I do think that this may, who knows, this may be the last big wave we have. And I hope that's the case.
I'm hoping so too, because also so many people have had it now that hopefully the immunity is built, and also I think everyone that's got vaccinated is going to, I don't think there's going to be that many more people getting vaccinated because if you haven't gotten vaccinated already.
Well, and also like the retroviral kind of pills and stuff are going to get better and better and will be widely available pretty soon. We're going to start to get regular probably vaccines, I would guess.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I'm just trying to get through the fucking day. Just day by it's like survive today. It's I can't really think much further than that. And also before all of this, I have a weird, brain thing where it's like you're going to die in 3 months. Like that's just a thing that my brain does in a normal world. And so it does really great stuff to your ability to plan for the future.
Yeah.
And feel good about life. Crazy, clinical anxiety.
Well,
all right.
That sucks.
I think
Sorry, I knew that would be a big one.
I think you very successfully, maybe for the first time, turned lemons into the exact thing that we wanted them to not be.
That's what I do, baby.
All right. Remember when we said if Biden won the election, we'd start actually doing lemons again?
Yeah.
It's Biden's America, baby. We're on episode 100.
Yeah, and I'm feeling gayer than ever, I'll tell you what. Whatever they're putting in the water, it's making me gay.
All right, peach time.
All right.
So Matt, we do 3 of these.
3 of them?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Gotta work for it. So these are 3 good things. 3 things you're happy about or like or whatever.
Okay. 3 of them. Let me think.
Do you want one of us to go first?
I got this, bro. 3 of them, things that I've liked lately. I feel like I've been in a very good place creatively, and I've really liked what I've been working on personally, and also I've just had a lot of fun creating stuff, like this podcast. Another one is I've been finally getting my house together. Like since I moved in like May, I've had this idea of what I want my place to be, and it's finally starting to actually get there slowly but surely. Awesome. And then the last one is I love space so much. And I've been real excited about the James Webb Telescope
it's the
launch
best.
and how it's been successful so far.
Crushing it.
Knock on wood. And I just can't wait to see what we're gonna see with that telescope. Maybe we'll see some signs of life out there. I can't wait to see the pictures and stuff we're gonna see.
Embarrassingly, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Once again, I don't look at anything.
Matt, do you want to explain this?
Yeah, it's basically the James Webb Space Telescope is this telescope that's been in production for like 15 years or something, kept getting delayed, $10 billion. But it's this telescope that's like incredible, like blows the Hubble out of the water. Yeah. And they finally launched it after 1 million years of delays. And now it's like slowly opening up in space bit by bit, which is very stressful because something could go wrong. I mean, it's fucked. But they're sending it out 1 million miles out into space to this point called L2, which is like a certain distance from Earth.
It's a Lagrange point. Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's a stable orbit, essentially.
And then from there, it's going to start taking pictures of basically like it's kind of like seeing back in time. So they're going to be able to hopefully see like pretty much like the first galaxies forming with it because they look back in time at like basically the Big Bang. And they're also going to be able to use it just to take crazy pictures of distant galaxies and nebulas and planets. And
that's fucking crazy.
And they're going to look at that Kepler system, I think, that has like a lot of habitable planets. They're going to look at that as one of the first things. And I'm just very excited just to see because I'm a big space head.
It's going to be great for a lot of things. Cosmology in particular, you know, there are lots of mysteries in cosmology right now.
And cosmetology.
Yes, of course, in cosmetology.
A lot of mysteries there.
Like how do you get your face to look like that is the biggest one.
Huge mystery.
But in cosmology, there's this thing going on right now called the Hubble Tension, where there's a number, which is essentially the rate of expansion of the universe. And there are two very reliable but conflicting values for it. It's called, and no one knows what the right answer is. And it's like, it is a big mystery right now in cosmology what this parameter is. And if you look up Hubble tension, you can learn more about it. But I hope that we get some good data from this that helps resolve that.
Yeah.
Hopefully also, you know, there's this bigger question. I don't know if it'll say anything about it, about what's called dark energy, which is
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah, it's not dark matter. Dark matter is kind of much more tractable in a sense. That's matter we know is out there but can't see, although we don't know what it is. It's a big mystery.
We have no idea.
Dark energy, the universe, the expansion of the universe is accelerating. Mm-hmm. And because of some kind of pressure that's pushing it out, the thing that's causing that people usually call dark energy, and no one has any fucking clue what it is.
Yeah, that's wild that like we just have no clue. Like it's just so far beyond us still.
And the crazy part from a theoretical physics standpoint is when you try to guess what the value would be, you get a number that is like wildly wrong. If you just like based on kind of general principles, like guess what it is, you got something that is so incredibly wrong that there has to be something else going on.
That's awesome.
So hopefully we get some insight into that. And it's possible that we just, you know, it's possible this is just kind of the universe we live in and there's no good answer for it. That's just what it is.
It could be like literally in another realm that like we can't like our brains can't even process.
It's not even that. It's just like some things about the universe. There's a big question of like, if you understand the general principles, can you kind of figure out what's happening with our universe? And one possible answer is it's not that we can't understand it. It's just that the universe we live in has these certain parameters and there's no really good reason for it. And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And that might be the case.
The good Lord made it that way.
That's kind of right. Yeah. Like it's just the universe we live in. So hopefully we get some answers from James Webb.
I'm just very excited. I mean, it has a pretty short shelf life, only like 10 years. But
it's going to be amazing, dude.
There's another big telescope coming after that that's going to be like replacing the Hubble that's much better, that will have a longer shelf life. I forgot what it's called. It's a woman's name.
Yeah, I can't remember either. You're not talking about, it's not the Lisa thing, is it?
I don't remember. It's a telescope that's coming in the either late 20s or I think late 20s, and it's
yeah. Because
it's
gonna
like
breaking
breaking the
the
glass
Hubble.
ceiling. I mean,
Lisa is a
girl
dark
boss.
matter. Is a dark matter.
No, it's
Anyway.
not. It's not a dark matter thing. It's a. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Peaches. Leighton, you got some peaches?
Yeah. My
Wanna move
first
into the
peach is
country?
that after like days and days of playing Civ, I finally got a victory last night.
Nice.
I can't tell you how satisfying that shit was. Everybody else go fuck yourselves. I built a rocket. So that's my first peach. My second peach is one that I literally cannot talk about on this show, but both of you know what it is. And it's great.
The pregnancy? Oh.
My third peach is that I hung out with Aaron and Susie, went and saw Scream. We ate some Tres Leches cake that Susie made.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, I saw you guys went and saw Scream.
Yeah, it was a lovely time. And I love to see my friends, and also all their cats love me now and will immediately come and say hi, which is like big old progress. This is years
Love those cats.
Yeah.
of progress. Otto will like fully let me love on him.
Oh, I love
and I
little
love
Otto.
that big,
He's-
big boofy boy.
Those beautiful deformed cats.
They're the best.
They're
Anyway,
so
those
genetically messed up.
those are my peaches. Brian,
Yes,
do you have peaches?
I do. Peach number one, first peach, this past weekend, was the MIT Mystery Hunt, which is my favorite puzzle solving thing. Happens every year at MIT. Normally I'd go out there, but it was remote last year and this. But it's mainly an excuse to hang out with old college friends and other newer friends and solve some really fun and inventive puzzles.
Oh, that's cool.
And we got a lot of them. We had a great time. It was awesome. It is the kind of the highlight of my year. It's just the best. You know,
That sounds awesome.
yeah, it's just endlessly fun. Peach number two is I now live with a capital G gamer
Oh.
who is obsessed with all things Zelda. And
I knew Rachel was getting into Zelda. I knew it.
and, you know, honestly, though, Rachel is like original Zelda fan. Has played a lot more than I have. But Audrey now, we let her watch playthroughs and also GameStop's channel.
She watches SuperMega now?
Yes, she loves SuperMega. She keeps asking me about why Brent's penis smells so bad.
Yeah. Well, we're all asking that, Brian.
Yeah, well, believe me. But so we let her watch GameStop's YouTube channel because it's pretty kid friendly. And so now I live with someone where if there's a silence of any length, she will just start spouting Zelda facts at me. And so I was driving her to school the other day and we were listening to the Encanto soundtrack, which is a current favorite.
I have heard that it's epic.
It's she loves it. And so I was trying to explain, there's a line about Cerberus. And I was trying to explain to her about that. And she was like, oh, yeah. You know, and that makes sense that Hercules would fight Cerberus. Yeah, because Cerberus is a dog. And did you know, if you go up to the top of Mount Lanayru and you take Daruk up there, and it's like, and then we're suddenly talking about Zelda for whatever reason.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And she is now playing Breath of the Wild again. But it's just very
Nice.
cute to see her enthusiasm for this video game. And she loves it. And every night she wants... Here's what happens every night. She wants stories. She wants a story told. So I tell essentially the same story to her every night. If she wants a Zelda story, there are other stories she wants too, which is about Daruk, who's a Goron, and loves to eat rocks. It is the constant attempts of Daruk to serve Link rocks for dinner. And Link cannot eat or digest rocks, and comedy ensues.
Nice.
I love that. What are you going to do when Audrey gets to an age where she realizes that her dad wrote a song about Legend of Zelda? What?
A song? Yeah.
Well,
I can never have children because
Oh
of
my God, dude.
the things that I've done and written
I think
and said
all
online.
the time about the first moment where my probably, let's say 10-year-old daughter, who's still in I Love Mario and Zelda kind of phase, finds Starbomb and listens to all of the fucking songs we wrote about the very graphic sexual acts perpetrated by these characters.
Yeah.
And then can't look me in the eye.
That's why I can't have kids, dude.
It's, yeah. Like, what do I do? The honest thing is that she'll probably be a million times funnier than I am and write her own versions of those songs, which are better than anything I could do.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
But no, I believe me. I think a lot about what is going to happen when that happens, and it's not far away. It's not like in a year, but it's less than 5 years for sure.
She's a smart
right,
kid.
right. It's on the way. It's a talk you got to prepare for.
Yeah, you're not allowed to use the internet till you're 18. Maybe that's the strategy.
I actually think that should be the rule for literally every human on this planet. You shouldn't be allowed online unless you have a license.
It's not a bad idea. Anyway, my final peach is that this is our 100th episode, and
Very proud of you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Dude, it's so great to have you here, and Leighton, it's been so much fun to do this with you, and it's kind of what you said, Matt. Like I never worry about running out of things to talk about, or or having interesting guests, or anything like that. I think we're just getting started, and it's been a really fun first 100, and I'm excited for the future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
here's
thank
to
you for
another
having
100.
me. Thank you for having me for the 100th. I feel very honored, and it's been fun. I really enjoyed all the conversations from shitting pants to talking about space telescopes and all that good stuff.
I would categorize this one as, we have a couple of different like genres of late night episode. Falls firmly in the chaos genre.
Pretty chaotic, but fun.
Yeah.
Those are the best episodes, the chaos episodes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In a
dude,
word,
thank you again for
chaos.
being here. This was a lot of fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you
dude,
for having me.
I
Anytime.
love you and I miss being around you so very deeply. So it
Well,
would be really funny if you had a party or something.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, hypothetically, imagine the joke it would be if I did have a party.
And then put out I saw like a bunch of super Photoshop pictures
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
Everybody hanging out looking like they do pretty much this week. Yeah, that'd be wild.
Yeah, that would be crazy, Brian.
Well, if you need someone to come tell you about Zelda facts, Audrey is available.
Okay. That sounds great, man.
Yep.
Fantastic.
All right. So I guess that brings us to the end of the first. Like, this is not only the end of this episode.
We're pinching off a century.
Boom, baby.
So,
Congratulations, guys. That's a big milestone. At
Thank
the end
you.
of my first 100th episode is when we first unveiled the song about me having sex with my dad. So,
Yeah.
something I wish had never come into existence, but what can you do now, right? What can
Now
you
it's
do?
out there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, folks at home, thank you for being here throughout this whole hundo. And, oh my God, the pressure of saying something. You're all good. Thanks for having ears and for listening to the show. Thank you both for being here. Can
hey.
we...
Yes,
Huh?
please. No, go ahead.
What were
Can
you going
we-
to say?
I was going to say my new catchphrase.
Oh.
Stay in school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one's okay.
I dropped out of school, so
Well,
I
so
mean-
did Leighton.
Yeah.
yeah. So stay in
Don't
school,
look
guys.
at the camera. All right. Everybody, you're great. Take care of yourselves. Stay flirty, fun, and fresh. And folks,
Hey, man, my landlord's calling me. I'm not gonna pick that up.
Perfect timing.
I don't know
Never
why he's
pay
calling
rent.
me. He never calls me, so.
Rent is a tool of the patriarchy. Don't pay it.
Okay, that's true, and I'm not gonna talk to my landlord. Sorry.
Hell yeah.
all right, everybody. Something. Come. See you
Bye.
next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Leighton Night is produced by Brian Weck, Leighton Gray, and Jarek Centeno. Follow us on Twitter at Leighton Night, on Instagram at Leighton_Night, or email us at leightonnight@gmail.com. Also, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Leighton Night.